Hi, mentoring champions. I'm Tiffany. Welcome to MentorcliQ's Mentoring Soundbites, where we will answer some of the most common and important questions professionals just like you ask about starting, managing, and growing their mentoring programs. In this video, we'll cover the 9 important steps to creating a mentoring program. Along the way, you'll also hear sound bites from mentoring program leaders at Fortune 500 companies who you say have been there, done that, and probably bought the t-shirt. If this video helped answer some of your burning questions, be sure to like and subscribe for more mentoring best practices like these. As with any good list, let's start with step 1, understanding what mentoring is and what it is not. Don't worry, learning and development leaders, mentoring is not a replacement for official training practices. And unless you want it to, it doesn't even rely on lesson plans and evaluations. Instead, mentoring is about one-on-one or group-centered peer engagements where both of the mentor and the mentee enjoy growth opportunities. The mentor offers up knowledge and experience in a particular area, while the mentee leans into the knowledge and experience as a resource for development. So don't worry, mentoring doesn't need to be scary. Instead, it is an additional pathway toward development and engagement that uses the connective power of human relationships. Step 2, align mentoring with your organization's objectives. Spend some time identifying which metrics, goals, and strategic objectives will be positively affected by a mentoring program. Good intentions are always nice to have, but ultimately should not be the foundation of your mentoring strategy. If it doesn't fulfill the stated or identified needs of your workforce or of the company, support will be hard to come by.
So in general, I would say first thinking about how does mentoring align with our strategic objectives, our organizational goals? How can it make an impact on those things? And how can it make an impact for our employees? And so some of the things that you'd want to look at would be retention rates, internal mobility, cross-line of business connections, breaking down silos that exist within an organization through knowledge sharing, and even really thinking about DE&I goals and objectives and how mentoring can help with that.
Step 3, socialize your mentoring concept and build buy-in. A mentoring program that can't get off the ground won't serve anyone any good. Getting executive buy-in is the first step, which we've already covered in the previous video right here. Depending on your company's size, you may want to start out with some roundtable discussions with your relevant stakeholders. Chances are good that mentoring is something your workers at your company already want, but you can also send out an interest survey, the results of which you can then put in front of stakeholders as extra evidence that mentoring is a great idea. And don't forget to include your future mentors and mentees in your socialization strategy. They will also need help visualizing the benefits of signing up and joining your program.
I did some teasers on our intranet, but more importantly, I hosted and I continue to host a series of information sessions leading up to when we're going to take statements of interest and then start the pairing. And the information sessions talk about the benefits of participating in mentoring, but I also give them a preview of what their dashboard's going to look like, how we report out numbers on a monthly and quarterly basis to the cohort to show them the difference that the program is making for them. And then even as we're getting ready to launch, I hold a kickoff session, which goes back through what to see on their dashboard, what resources are available from MentorcliQ, but also I've uploaded my own. So I'm repeating the important things to make it more accessible and to show them it's not that difficult to participate.
Step 4, create structure for delivery. Now that you have the executive green light and possibly a budget, the next step is to determine the structure of your programs. That should include all of the following at a minimum. Who is your target population? What are the participation requirements for mentors and mentees? How will you recruit mentors and mentees? What matching criteria will you use for mentor and mentees pairs? How long will each cohort meet? Will you run a pilot or launch the program full scale? And how will you measure success? There's definitely more you can think about, but hopefully you get the idea. Plan every step of the process to make sure your program launch goes as smoothly as possible.
And we took what had been more very generic definitions of mentoring and why we were doing mentoring, and we created a purpose statement that is more specific. It tracks to our Grow career journey. It talks about our culture of inclusion, and it talks about the benefits that both a mentor and mentee will get out of our program. And then it also talks about how we're aligning our mentoring focus areas to our leader fundamentals and our strategic differentiators that we've identified as a person progresses as a leader in our organization.
Step 5, recruit participants and then train them. You can't have a mentoring program without mentors and mentees. So make sure that you put in the effort needed to recruit program participants. A few key things to remember here. 1, just because people are talented doesn't mean they know how to effectively serve as mentors. Make sure you train your mentors on best practices. 2, just because mentoring is beneficial and wanted doesn't mean everyone is going to join as you launch the program. Remember that your team members are all busy meeting deadlines. Your mentoring program may get forgotten. Advertise your program early and often before launch, regularly after launch, and make sure your internal materials stress how little effort is needed on their part to sign up and get matched. Since recruitment is one of the most important parts of launching a mentoring program, you'll find that we've already covered this topic before on our Mentoring Soundbites channel. Don't hesitate to check out both our videos for recruiting mentors and recruiting mentees. Step 6, match participants. This is the step where you'll be creating relationships that will change people's careers and lives. That's the good news. What's the bad news? Matching manually can take dozens or hundreds of hours of your time, especially when you're trying to work with a large number of participants. Even worse, what happens when you get a match wrong? If the pair just don't click, both mentor and mentee may feel their time was wasted. We recommend you take a modern technological approach, using mentoring software that's built with matching algorithms that not only produce matches instantaneously based on multiple points of data, but also reduce biases that might creep into the matching process.
I love Smart Match. I love the ability to automate communications. Both of those things have saved so much time. If I didn't have those abilities, I could spend 100% of my time running one program instead of spending 50% of my time running 3 programs, tripling the number of mentoring participants that we're able to have year in and year out.
Step 7, guide participants to success. Not all mentoring programs will need a defined structure, but if you're using mentoring as a strategy for learning with defined end goals in mind, such as onboarding, functional skills development, or leadership development, you need points where participants can stop and reflect along the way. Create a few checkpoints throughout the program and provide the right resources to help mentors and mentees through them. For example, a simple 6-month program communication schedule might look like this. Month 1, program announcements and matches. Month 2, provide tips on being a great mentor or mentee via email blast. Month 3, Perform a relationship check-in and satisfaction survey. Month 4, do goals, check-ins, and updates on the program. Month 5, email participant tips for finishing their relationship. Month 6, send a program closure survey. Thank participants for their great work and offer information about future program cycles or mentoring program opportunities. Even if you provided a curriculum or relationship guide of some kind, try to avoid being too hands-on. Allow mentors or mentees to interact, learn together in a way that best suits their personalities and needs.
Once they get the mentor, they're pretty excited. They're ready to engage. They actually go through a 12-week partnership with their mentor. They have regular discussions. It's all mentee driven. So again, the ball's in their court. When you get to decide what you're focusing on, who you're partnering with, you're just more accountable to yourself and to other people as well. So that's why we feel it's really important for them to be able to drive this process.
Step 8, continuously measure, monitor, and improve. Throughout the course of the cycle, you're going to want to check in with participants to gauge relationship satisfaction, gain an understanding of time being spent in development-related activities, identify trends and focus areas and topics discussed, and gather feedback around program communication and structure. While you don't need to check in on your program data all day, every day, keep a regular cadence to your data collection throughout your program. And definitely analyze important participant-related data after the program ends. Pay special attention to your participants' retention rates. Want to know more? Check out the Mentoring Soundbites video where industry experts share their strategies and thoughts on measuring success in mentoring programs.
We begin measuring after year 2 so we can understand what we've sustained from year to year. So we'll be able to, once we close out this year's program in October, we'll be able to get down to, hey, what really helped us? Some of the things I've taken a sneak peek at, if you will. I don't know if I should even talk about it here, but we are seeing some improvements, some higher rates of retention for people who are participating in the program. We'll be able to really qualify that better and look at what does that mean by way of bottom line savings to us, because there's a real savings to retaining employees. Turnover is quite expensive. I've heard some numbers north of $50,000 per employee when you turn some over, and others, if you're at the more senior levels, over $100,000 in savings. So we'll be able to quantify that after we understand the retention rate for our employees in this program.
Step 9, consider mentoring software for support. Running a mentoring program manually will almost make every step listed previously extremely difficult to do efficiently or at scale. Manually run programs are going to be limited in scope due to lack of available time to run them unless you deploy an army of program admins. With mentoring software, you'll be able to reduce administrative cost of your program and increase ROI. Make better matches between participants, leading to higher satisfaction scores. Streamline data collection to create robust metric reporting. You also can create and launch programs much faster, especially if you already have running software. For a quick preview of MentorcliQ software, check out this video. Are you excited to start building mentoring programs? If so, let us know in the comments below what kind of programs you love to create. Getting started is always one of the biggest challenges. However, once you get past the launch phase, you'll start seeing amazing benefits that mentoring will have on your organization. Not done learning. Check out the article linked in the video description for additional insights on topics covered in this video. And for more mentoring tips, visit us at mentorcliq.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to get updated on mentoring best practices like these.